Hello, welcome to Autobot YouTube channel. Myself Ram Krishnan. Today we are going to see how we can use the Linux robot images to execute the cross-platform automations in a Docker container. Okay, so this will be helpful to those who are looking for a solution to run your automations in a Docker-based environment. Okay, so let us understand what is a Docker. So Docker is a platform for developing, shipping, and running applications inside lightweight, portable, and self-sufficient containers. So containers are a form of virtualization technology that allow you to package an application and all its dependencies, libraries, configuration, and runtime environment into a single unit called a container image. Okay, so just consider if you want to run an application, there are a lot of hurdles are there, right? Like you will have to install the dependency libraries, configurations, runtime, or you have to set up the infra. So this Docker will help you to set all these things in using a single image. Okay, so that is the purpose of Docker. So the main benefit of using Docker is, so just consider if you are trying to move an application from your test environment to production or to UAT or to different environment, right? So sometimes you may have faced issues because of the infrastructure setup or because of some dependencies, right? So this Docker will help to resolve this issue by aligning the same configuration and same infrastructure in all the environments. Okay, so this is very adaptive. You can move the same image and you can deploy it to, or you can run the containers in different environments. Okay, so this Docker image is nothing but like so just consider you can create a Docker file where you can write all the dependencies or the configuration and what is the entry point that you need to start your application. All these things you can write in a Docker file with extension .docker, and once you build it, it will create the image. Okay, using the command docker build, you can create the Docker images. Okay, then what is a Docker container? Docker container is nothing but when you run the Docker image, it will run like a container. Okay, so a Docker image is a lightweight, standalone, and executable package that contains all the necessary code, library dependency, and configuration file required to run a specific application. So how this Docker image can be created? It can be created using a Docker file and by using the Docker build command. Okay, and how you can and what is a Docker container? A Docker container is a runnable instance of a Docker image. It is lightweight and isolated environment that runs application with their own process, file system, and network configuration. So Docker container is a runnable instance of a Docker image. So what you can do, you can use Docker run command to run that particular image. So in this automation process, we already have an existing Docker image that is available. Okay, that is our robot. So we are going to use that robot for executing the automation, cross-browser automations. Okay, so that is a task that we are going to achieve today. And responsive deployment and scaling. So Docker's container-based platform allows for high portable workloads. Docker containers can run on a developer's local laptop or on physical or virtual machine in a data center, on cloud providers, or in a mixture of environment. So as I mentioned earlier, like this is very adaptive. You can run it in different environment, like in your local or in a virtual machine or in your other cloud providers. So you can actually create a Docker image and you can run it like wherever the Docker is available, there you can run the particular images. So Docker's portability and lightweight nature also make it easy to dynamically manage workload, scaling up or tearing down application and services as business need dictate in near real time. So one benefit of this Docker images is like if you need to scale up, like just consider there is more traffic that is coming to future. Okay, so just consider about Flipkart. So during this big billion sales, you are going to get more number of logins by the users, right? So in this kind of in this situation, what we can do, we'll have to scale up the entire infrastructure. Right? So the application should be capable of handling this heavy load that is coming to the application. So what we can do, we can multiply or we can duplicate the current environment to a huge number to allow the traffic to this application. Okay, so these Docker images will help to scale up and down the application. Okay, so that is one big point. And how Docker helps UiPath execution. The robot Linux image allow you to run cross-platform automations in Docker container. So how you can execute your automations or the cross-platform automations in Docker container? So you can directly use the robot image that is available, and you just need to run it. Okay. So there are some prerequisites. Okay, so with only the Docker image, you cannot execute your automations, right? You have to make a connection to your orchestrator. Then you have to create a template. Then only you can use your robot to execute the automation process, right? So what are the prerequisites? You have to create a Docker environment. For that, you can go to this particular site and you can download the Docker desktop, right? And then you have to do network connection to orchestrator, then machine template and client credentials. So all these steps I'm going to walk through. This reference link, I have provided a reference link in the description. So this is very helpful. Like you can get the step by step description about each process. That will help you to make this Docker based setup for your robot Linux execution. So steps to follow: create a machine template and get the client ID and the client secret or machine key. So if you create a machine template, you will get the client ID or machine key or a client secret ID, right? So either of these three parameters, you can create the connection to orchestrator from your Docker image. I will show you all these steps, but there is some difference between the command if you're going with client ID and secret ID or with machine key. And creating automation for a Linux robot. The Linux robot can run both background and foreground automation. If you want to create a web-based automation compatible with the Linux robot, follow the steps below. So just consider if you want to run web-based automations in a Docker container. So what you have to do when creating a new process, choose the cross-platform project type in Studio. That is very important. It will support only cross-platform project. Okay, so in Studio, from the package manager, you have to update all the UI automation activities. Okay, then create a web automation. You also need the latest Chrome extension and all. You have to properly install. Then what is the next step? Like you have to make sure you're going to use the input methods like Chromium API, or you can use a simulate clipboard, simulate type activities. Okay, so these are a few points that you need to keep in mind while you're creating automation for Linux robots and running automation from Linux robots. So here you can see I have provided a comment. So this is nothing but, as I mentioned, if you have a Docker image, you can directly use Docker run command to execute the Docker image. So from where we can get the Docker image, you can get it from registry.uipath.com, and here we have to provide the tag value. So this tag value will be available from the link that I shared in the previous slide. Okay, so the tag value we'll have to provide, and if there is any update for this robot, they will be giving the new tag, and you can update the tag and you can get it installed. Okay, and here we have to accept the license agreement, and then we have to provide the orchestrator URL, and I will show you how you can get the orchestrator URL. Okay, then you have to provide the machine key, or if you want to go with client ID or secret ID, you can provide that as well. Then here you can see, so just consider this execution is going to happen in your container, right? So how you can see or how you can visualize this execution? So if you want to execute, you can directly use this particular command -p 50,000 colon 5900. So this 50,000 is nothing but the port that you're going to open to see that particular execution. Okay, so what if this particular 50,000 is busy, means you can give another port, maybe 50,001 or something. Okay, then -- environment VNC enabled equal to true. So if you want to see this execution, you can directly install a VNC player, and there you have to provide the local host colon and whatever the port that you are providing here, the port value you have to provide. Okay, then during the execution, you can see the real-time execution of your process. Okay, so enabling VNC to see a live execution of the process. So VNC is nothing but virtual network computing. Okay, so let's go to our practical section. So what is the first task that we have to do? We have to install the Docker, right? So I already installed the Docker desktop in my machine. So if you want to install, you can directly go to this site. Okay, docker.com/products/docker-desktop. Okay, then you can download for your OS. Okay, so once it is done, I already clicked on Docker desktop, right? So let it open. I'm opening the command prompt as well. Okay, to execute the Docker commands. Okay, now Docker is running. So let me do one thing. Docker ps-a. This will help to see all the containers that is running in the machine. Okay, so you can see already a container is running. So let me do one thing. Let me delete this robot. So currently the robot is running like a container. Okay, so I need to delete the container. So what I can do? Docker. First I need to stop it, right? Stop. Then I need to provide the container ID. So once it is stopped, then I can remove it. Okay. Okay, now it is removed. Then let me see the Dockers again. Okay, so currently there is no UiPath robot running in the Docker system, right? So now what I'm going to do is, let me go to orchestrator. Okay, tenant, machine. Next step is we have to create a machine template, right? So let me disable this cloud run. Then let me create a Docker template, sorry, machine template, and I need to assign license 1, and process type I'm going to execute on the background, and the platform should be cross-platform on. Okay, click on provision, and now we received client ID slash missing key and the client secret ID, right? And let me copy this command and let me replace here. Okay, let me take the client secret as well. Okay, so this command is the same like what I shared in the PPT. Okay, and we have to understand how to get this orchestrator URL, right? So once you open the orchestrator, you can see your tenant ID, then slash orchestrator underscore. Okay, so this is your orchestrator URL. So this orchestrator URL you have to provide here. Okay, so let me go back, click on close. Okay, so now you can see Docker template got created, but there is no installed version of robots available for this particular template. Now what I'm going to do is, let me copy this command. Let me execute this. Okay. Okay, so now it should have created. Let me open up a new command prompt. As I have enabled VNC, this particular command will keep on running. Okay, because of that VNC enabled session. So let me do one thing, docker ps-a. Now you will be able to see a container is running, right? So this is nothing but our Linux based robot. Okay, so here you can see this is the image that we have provided, and the status is 16 seconds ago it has up. So this is our container ID 196. Now what I'm going to do is, let me refresh this. Okay, so if you refresh this, you will be able to find the installed version of your robot. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let me create a very simple process. Okay, so let me create it. Docker YouTube demo. Okay, and the platform should be cross-platform. Create it. Okay, so here I'm going to do automation based on adding a item to orchestrator queue. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me create a queue. Let me go to demo and queues. Okay, so we already have a Docker queue available. So let me remove it and create a new one. Okay, Docker demo. That's it, auto retrieve one. Okay, click on add. Now you can see we have created a new queue. view transition. There is no transition available. So let me go to our UiPath Studio. So the process is very simple. I'm going to add an item to the particular queue that we have created, and I'm going to deploy, or I'm going to run that automation process using the container that we have created just now. Okay, so the container that we created, right, you can view that in the Docker desktop as well. So if you go to containers, okay, here also you'll be able to see that a new container. Where is it? Yeah, here you can see that a new container is running. Okay, so this is a pod that is opened, and 3 minutes ago it is executing, and here you can view the image as well. Okay, so this is the image of size 1.38 GB. Okay, so let me go here. Let me do one thing. Use add queue item. Add queue item activity. Okay, so the orchestrator folder path is demo. Queue name is Docker demo, and here I'm going to add a first name. Okay, first name, and the value I'm going to give my name, Rahul Krishna. Okay, so that's it. Save. Save it, then publish it. Okay, I'm going to publish to orchestrated tenant feed. Click on next. It should be orchestrated tenant process feed. Publish. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we created a cross-platform automation process. I published to tenant feed, and I'm going to use this particular container to execute our automation. Okay, so instead of using a local host or any virtual machine or any EC2 instance, I'm going to use this container to execute the automation process. Okay, so it published successfully. Now what I'm going to do is, let me go to demo automation. Let me create a process. Okay, so what is the file name? Docker, sorry, it should be Docker YouTube demo. Okay, entry point is main.xml. Click on next. Okay, status is available. Next, I'm going to give the same name, YouTube demo. Okay, and that's it. Create. Now I need to execute this one, right? Just click on start now, and runtime should be production unattended. Why it is not added? Because we have to add this machine to the particular folder, right? That part is not there. That's why we are not able to see the production unattended. So what I'm going to do now is go to demo folder, click on this settings, assign machines. Okay, I need to select this Docker image, sorry, Docker machine, update. Okay, then go back here. Now just refresh this page. Okay, select the production unattended, and we have to select the robot, right? Let me select a Docker account, and machine, I'm selecting Docker. Okay, and here if you go here, you'll be able to see the container ID. Okay, so this will be same as this particular container ID, right? Let me click on start. Okay, so here you can see, using the container ID or using the robot Linux robot, we are going to execute this particular automation. Okay, so it will run for some time, and then if you go to our queue, we'll be able to see the new transition that got added. Let me go to queue, Docker image, view transition. Okay, it will take some time because it's for the first time we are going to execute, right? So it has to install all the dependencies and all, then it will execute. Okay, so here we can say the info is installing package, and we have used a Docker demo account unattended, and what is the version and what is the process. All these things are available here. Okay, so let it execute. Okay, so our execution is completed. And, let me go logs. Yeah, here you can see job is completed. And let me do one thing. Let me go to our queue and see where the translation got created. So view translation. Yes, and we can see a new translation got created. View details. Yes, here we can see the first name that we provided in the add queue item activity. Okay, so now what I did, I created a cross platform automation, and I used the Linux Docker container to execute this particular execution. All right. So I made a connection from the container, Docker container, to orchestrator URL, and then from orchestrator I created a machine template, and I assigned the client ID, secret ID, and all. Then uh, in the job I have selected this Docker, as well as I have selected the container ID for doing the execution, right? So currently we have only one container, right? So just consider I want to create more containers. Okay, so what I can do, I just need to execute this, right? So earlier we had only one container ID, or only one robot was there. Okay, so it is throwing the error because this VNC port is already opened, right? So I assigned another port and executed. Now it works fine. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, let me go here, let me go to job, start. Okay, so demo YouTube demo, right? Yeah, demo YouTube demo. I'm going to select production unattended, and here I'm going to select this particular account, and in the machine I'm going to select Docker, and here you'll be able to see two host ID now, right? Two container ID you'll be able to see. So this is how you can scale up. Like if you want to use more number of Docker container, you can run this image multiple times, then you'll be getting different container ID. Okay, so in this video we have seen how we can run the robot Linux image for executing the cross platform automations, right? So in the coming video I will show you how you can deploy this Docker image to Kubernetes, and how you can run your automation in a Kubernetes environment. Okay, so I hope you found this video useful. If you find this interesting, please like the video, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. So thanks for watching the video. Bye.